Monaco, Mallorca, July 2026. The sun beats down on the clay courts of the Rafa Nadal Academy, where a young woman from the Philippines is preparing for the biggest challenge of her career. Alexandra Eala has just climbed to world number 28. She has conquered Wimbledon's center court. She has dethroned the defending champion. She has become a national hero. But something is bothering her. Something that happened in Madrid months ago. Something that has stayed with her, gnawing at the edges of her mind, whispering doubts that she cannot quite silence. She was warming up for her match against Iga Swiatek when she saw him, sitting in the stands, watching her every move, taking notes, analyzing her game with the cold, clinical precision of a man who has coached 7 Grand Slam champions. Wim Fissette, the Belgian mastermind, the coach who has guided 6 world number 1 players, the man who helped Naomi Osaka win 2 Grand Slams, the man who took Iga Swiatek to a Wimbledon title, the man who knows exactly how to dismantle an opponent's game. And he was watching her. Alex was a little worried. Her coach Joan Bosch later revealed. She said, "He came to watch me play." The tennis world has been buzzing ever since. Because what Fissette saw that day, what he analyzed, what he recorded, what he took back to Swiatek, could change everything. Now, with the U.S. Open just weeks away, the question on everyone's mind is, what did Wim Fissette see? What secret did he uncover about Alex Eala's game? And could it be the key to unlocking her full potential? This is the story of how the world's greatest tennis coach may have just revealed the secret that could change Alex Eala's career forever. Welcome to RallyVerse. To understand why Wim Fissette's observations matter, you have to understand who he is. He is the most successful active coach in women's tennis. Over 18 remarkable years, he has coached 7 different Grand Slam champions: Kim Clijsters, Simona Halep, Victoria Azarenka, Petra Kvitova, Angelique Kerber, Naomi Osaka, and Iga Swiatek. He has guided 6 different players to the world number 1 ranking. He has won Grand Slam titles with Clijsters, Osaka, and Swiatek. When Wim Fissette watches a tennis match, he doesn't just see winners and unforced errors. He sees patterns. He sees weaknesses. He sees the tiny technical flaws that separate champions from contenders. He sees the psychological cracks that can be exploited under pressure. And in April 2025, he was watching Alexandra Eala. It was the Madrid Open. Eala had just won her opening match against Victoria Tomova, 6-3, 6-2. She was feeling confident. She was feeling good. And then she looked up at the stands. There he was, Wim Fissette, Iga Swiatek's coach, watching her every move. Eala's reaction was immediate and visceral. Alex was a little worried. Her coach Joan Bosch later revealed. She said, "He came to watch me play." The moment was captured in tennis lore. A 19-year-old rising star, feeling the weight of a champion's coach scrutinizing her game. It was intimidation. It was respect. It was fear. But Bosch, ever the steady hand, calmed her down. I told her not to worry, that I had seen a lot more of Iga's games than he had of hers, right? The words were reassuring, but they couldn't erase what had already happened. Fissette had seen something. He had taken notes. He had analyzed her game with the precision of a master tactician. And what he saw that day may have been the most valuable scouting report in tennis history. So what did Wim Fissette see when he watched Alex Eala play? The answer lies in the technical analysis that followed Eala's Wimbledon run. Fissette, like every great coach, understands that tennis is a game of patterns. Players develop habits. They fall into rhythms. They reveal their strengths and weaknesses through the shots they choose, the positions they take, the decisions they make under pressure. And Eala, for all her brilliance, had a pattern that Fissette identified immediately. Her serve, Martina Navratilova would later call it too much of a puffball. But Fissette saw something even more fundamental. He saw a left-handed player who wasn't using her left-handedness to its full potential. The statistics were damning. During her Wimbledon match against Jasmine Paolini, Eala was hitting only 33% of her serves out wide on the advantage side, and only 37% down the tee on the deuce side. For a lefty, this is crazy, Navratilova would later say. She is serving so much more out wide in the deuce court and tee and ad court. Only a third of her serves are slices to the backhand, particularly in the ad court. I don't understand that. She is not using her leftiness to her advantage nearly as much as she can. Fissette, with his decades of experience coaching the world's best players, would have seen this immediately. He would have recognized that Eala's greatest natural weapon, her left-handedness, was being squandered. He would have understood that a simple tactical adjustment could transform her from a dangerous opponent into an unstoppable force. But here's what makes Fissette's observation so valuable. He didn't just identify the problem. He knew how to fix it. He had coached left-handed players before. He understood the technical adjustments required, the grip change, the wrist position, the throwing motion. He knew how to develop a serve that used slice and kick to pull opponents wide and open up the court. He had seen what happens when a lefty fully embraces their advantage, and he had seen what happens when they don't. The irony of Fissette's observation is that Eala has been training at the one place in the world where left-handed tennis is perfected, the Rafa Nadal Academy. Rafael Nadal, the greatest left-handed player in tennis history, built his entire career on the lefty advantage. He developed one of the greatest serves in the game, using slice and kick to pull opponents wide and open up the court. He understood the tactical nuances of being a lefty in a right-handed world. And Eala had been training at his academy since she was 13 years old. So why wasn't she using her left-handedness to its full potential? The answer may lie in the very nature of her development. Eala was trained to be a complete player, not a one-dimensional lefty specialist. She learned to play with variety, with craftiness, with intelligence. She wasn't just a lefty who relied on her left-handedness to win points. She was a tennis player who happened to be left-handed. But Fissette's observation suggested that this approach, while admirable, was holding her back. By not fully embracing her left-handedness, Eala was leaving points on the court. She was making it easier for opponents to read her game. She was giving away her greatest natural advantage. The solution, as Fissette would have seen it, was simple. Embrace the lefty advantage. Use the slice, serve to pull opponents wide. Attack the backhand. Make opponents uncomfortable. Take away their rhythm. It was the same formula that Nadal had used to win 22 Grand Slams. The same formula that had made him one of the greatest players in history. And now, Fissette was suggesting that Eala needed to adopt it. But Fissette's observation wasn't just about technique. It was about psychology. Because when a player knows that their opponent's coach is watching them, something changes. There's a pressure, a heightened awareness. a sense that every mistake is being cataloged, every weakness noted, every vulnerability exposed. Eala felt that pressure in Madrid. Alex was a little worried, Bosch said. The word worried is significant. Eala, who had just beaten Swiatek in Miami, who had just proven that she could compete with the best, was worried about being watched. And that worry, that psychological edge, is exactly what Fissette was trying to create. Because tennis is as much a mental game as it is a physical one. The best coaches understand that psychology matters as much as technique. They understand that if you can get inside your opponent's head, you've already won half the battle. Fissette's presence in the stands was a message. It said, "We're taking you seriously. We are preparing for you. We are not underestimating you." It was respect, but it was also intimidation. And for a 19-year-old player still finding her way on the tour, that intimidation could be paralyzing. But here's the thing about Alex Eala. She didn't let it paralyze her. She went out and played. And she lost. But she learned. Because Fissette's observation wasn't just about that one match. It was about her entire career. It was about the adjustments she needed to make to reach the next level. It was about the secret that could change everything. So what does this leave us? Wim Fissette, the coach of 7 Grand Slam champions, watched Alex Eala play in Madrid and identified the one area where she could improve the most: her use of the left-handed advantage. He saw a player who wasn't fully embracing her greatest natural weapon. He saw a player who could be transformed by a simple tactical adjustment. And now, with the U.S. Open just weeks away, Eala has a chance to prove that she has learned from that observation. She has 3 tune-up tournaments before Flushing Meadows: the Mubadala DC Open from July 27th to August 2nd, the National Bank Open in Toronto, and the Cincinnati Open. She will also participate in the Stars of the Open exhibition match on August 27th. She has time to work on her game, time to embrace her left-handedness, time to transform her serve from a puffball into a weapon. And she has the greatest left-handed player in tennis history watching over her. Rafael Nadal has personally invited her back to the academy. He has taken an interest in her development. He has seen what Fissette saw, and he knows how to fix it. The tennis world is watching. The Philippines is watching. And at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Manacor, a champion is being forged. From the cracked courts of Quezon City to World No. 28. From being worried about a coach watching her to preparing for a Grand Slam. From being told she couldn't do it to standing on the brink of history. Alex Eala has defied every expectation. And the secret that Wim Fissette discovered, the secret about her left-handedness, about her serve, about the adjustments she needs to make, could be the key to unlocking her full potential. Laban lang. Always. And remember, on RallyVerse, we bring you the stories that define the sport, the drama, the analysis, the moments that change everything. Stay tuned for more.